So people are saying that AI will kill photography, but very recently I have figured out that AI won't kill photography. So for instance, if AI can make an absolutely perfect picture of a forest in autumn, then why do we need to go out and take that picture anymore? Well, I found that answer in the cold, rainy New Forest in England, and I'm going to bring the answer to you in this video. So I'm Mark Newton and I am the founder of the School of Photography, and recently I went on a trip to the New Forest just to take photographs. Believe it or not, I don't get to go out and take photographs much anymore, and you would think that being in charge of a photography company I'd be doing it all the time, but actually I'm running the company all the time. But recently I went out on a weekend trip with a friend, and the whole purpose was just to take photographs. We had it booked in advance, so whatever weather was going to come our way, we had to deal with it. And yes, as you guessed it, we had cloud, we had rain, and we didn't have the best conditions. And that is where I got the answer for will AI kill photography? And the answer is no. So you can quite clearly ask Gemini or ChatGPT to create you a autumn forest picture with the sunbeams coming through the trees, you know, in the mist and all of that. And I did, and it produced these images here, which are like picture perfect autumn images. And now let's go over and have a look at the ones that I took on this weekend in the New Forest. Here's one. I've changed it black and white because it was totally grey and horrible. Here's another one. I've actually added some light beams into this one in Lightroom. There is separate YouTube videos actually for both of them pictures that I've just shown you. And then here's another one here, which was taken about 10 minutes before the heavens opened and it poured with rain on top of us. All right, but I actually quite like this one. I thought this one was very nice. Are they picture perfect autumn photos with the sunbeams coming through the mist and, you know, all of that we love? No, but they're still decent photos. And this is where I had the revelation that we're worrying about nothing. Okay, so let's break this down. The image is 50% or more about taking the image. So we was presented a challenging situation. We was in a beautiful place, which makes it, you know, a bit easier, so we say, but cloudy skies, raining, you know, no warm light. We didn't have a decent sunrise and a decent sunset. And in the whole weekend, I got 3 pictures there that I'm happy with in the whole weekend. All right. But that limitation forces you to be as creative as possible, to use all of that knowledge that you've built up over the years and create something. And that is what I did. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yes, I wanted them picture perfect autumn pictures, but it doesn't matter. I got them images through the knowledge that I acquired, through the post-processing knowledge that I've acquired, and I'm happy with that. I was happy that we was out. I was happy that we was getting up at 6 in the morning and going out and doing these pictures and getting rained on, and it didn't bother me because I was out using them skills to take pictures. I suppose the equivalent is when you are practicing football, you know, like if you're into sport and you want to be a footballer, so you practice and practice, and then at the weekend you have a game and you score a goal. And some days you won't score that goal and some days you will. But the point is that process, that journey is a massive part of what you're trying to achieve. You know, AI can make the images, but it cannot make the experience, and it cannot make the joy of getting a good image or even getting a semi-good image, right? It cannot give that to anyone. Now, there's people shouting at the screen right now going, AI is killing photography, it's taking money away from me. So let's discuss that now, because it's true. You know, if, let's just say, a company wanted an autumn picture of a forest for something, I don't know, for advertising, for a magazine, for a YouTube video, for whatever, they can go on to Gemini, they can go on to ChatGTP, and they can type in, create me a picture perfect autumn forest, light beams, whatever you want to put in, and bang, you get one. So if creating stock photos was your thing, then yeah, you're going to lose money. But I've been in this industry since 1997, and I can tell you now that them parts of the industry have been dead a long time, right? No one's made any money out of stock photography for God knows how many years, or you might earn £100 a month or whatever, silly. That's if you're doing all right. If someone does ask someone else to take a picture of a forest or whatever, they're not going to pay them that much. Photography in that sense has been cheap for so long, since, you know, I remember it, since the rise of Instagram, since the rise of photo sharing apps and websites, etc. Photography has been so cheap. Like, you know, people can buy photographs for, you know, hundreds of pounds, not thousands, that's for sure. You know, it's cheap. You can get pictures, you know, and if that person's not going to take the picture of a forest for you, you'll go to someone else that's going to charge you 50 quid. You know, this is what companies have been doing for years, and that is simply because supply outstrips demand. You know, there is more people that take photographs than the people that want to buy photographs. It's as simple as that. So you can't really say that AI is killing photography in that sense neither. If we go into portrait photography, etc., and this is actually a really good point, because I was watching, there's a program called Portrait Artist of the Year, and it's a really good program. It's on Sky. Amateur artists, they're painters, and they paint portraits of famous people, and it's brilliant to watch. And what they do is they take a picture of the sitter on a tablet, and they put the tablet on their easel, and then they copy the actual photograph of the sitter, right? And it really starts to ask questions. Well, what's the point of the sitter sitting there? They sit there for 4 hours, right? And some of these artists just look at this picture that they took in 1 second. Well, the point is, it's that artist's interpretation of that person. That's what you're buying. No AI is going to take that away from an artist, a painter, a portrait photographer, wedding photographers, for instance. You know, they're safe, aren't they? unless they can build a robot that's going to come in and photograph the wedding, but they're pretty safe. So it just got me thinking, what parts of photography is AI actually going to kill? Well, it's going to kill the parts that weren't that expensive in the first place. They were all cheap in the first place. And it's never, ever, ever going to kill the process, the learning, the going out and doing. And I had an enlightenment when I was down in the New Forest, because I teach photography, and I started the School of Photography 10 years plus ago, before AI was invented, and no one saw this coming. James Cameron probably did, because he made the Terminator films and whatever. But in reality, well, I never saw this coming. You know, digital photography was great, but no one ever saw AI coming. And what happens when you're a photographer? If you're a photographer out there now, please comment and tell your story. But what happens in photography is you gravitate towards something that you are really passionate about, whether that's taking pictures of people, whether that's taking pictures on the street, whether that's going out into the forest and taking pictures of the forest, etc. You will naturally gravitate to something that really grabs you and that you're really passionate about. And for me, ironically enough, it was teaching. And it was just something that I was really good at. It was something that I could earn money from, and I got, and I still do to this day, more enjoyment out of watching someone else achieve. It's just brilliant. You know, I watch people, we've got thousands of members, they upload photos and they say thank you, and, you know, thanks to the School of Photography and all of that. It really fills your heart with joy, I can tell you that much. So I'm sitting there at this weekend going, thank Christ that was the avenue that I went down, and I started the School of Photography and spread it across the world, because in a selfish way it kind of means that I'm safe, or the company's safe, because AI is never ever ever going to take away the joy of taking a photograph, whether that photograph comes out poor or whether it comes out picture perfect. The joy is in the learning, the joy is in the process, the joy is in getting better and better and better and scoring that goal. And I want you to tell me in the comments whether you agree, disagree, or you've got different opinions, because we are early days, and I'm not the be all and end all here. I'm just giving you my opinion. And honestly, I've done other YouTube videos in the past where I've sort of attacked AI, but I had this sort of revelation when I was away taking photographs in dull conditions and trying to find a decent picture and using my knowledge of light and composition and what I can do in post-processing. And when I was doing that, when my brain was whirling, that was it. I was thinking, this is what it's about right now. This is what it's about. Whether I get a decent picture or not, this is what photography is all about. Now, if this video has inspired you, cheered you up, or made you angry, or whatever, I hope it ain't made you angry, can you help me out, please? Believe it or not, 9 out of 10 people that watch this channel have not subscribed to it yet. We've got 250,000 subscribers. So can you imagine if them 9 out of 10 actually subscribed, what we could bring to you? And that's what it boils down to at the end of the day, okay? Views and subscriptions. If we can build them up, we can invest more into this YouTube channel and bring you much more of this stuff. So please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like I say, I want to hear from you anyway, so write a comment. We always engage with comments, so feel free to do that. And the other thing is, if you want to learn photography properly, right, if you want to get this feeling, if you want to get this passion and you want to improve, come and see us at theschoolofphotography.com. We've got like 330,000 enrollments to date, so we've been around for a while, right? We know what we're doing. We've got tens of thousands of students right now learning with the School of Photography, and you could be the next one. So photography, Lightroom, Photoshop, forest photography. We've got a forest photography course, wildlife, landscape, portrait, whatever. We've got it all over at the School of Photography, and we've got a fantastic community of learners that help each other out. We do webinars, live Q&As, etc. And if you are on a photography learning journey, we are definitely going to help you out. So come over and see us at theschoolofphotography.com. Right, that's it. That is me having my rant off about photography and AI. I hope I'm right. I really do. Maybe in 2 months' time, I'll make another one and say I was totally wrong. Who knows? We'll have to wait for that to happen. But as it stands, that is my feeling on it, okay? Tell me yours in the comments. And if you subscribe, I will see you in the next video.